Hi, welcome to the Pearls and Polish Podcast, episode 38. I'm your host, Rachel, coming to you from just outside Sacramento, California. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. This is my little corner of the internet where I mostly talk about knitting, but I do sprinkle in some other things as well. So let's get started. Of course, anyone that I mention in today's episode is going to be linked in the description below, along with all the places you can find me here on YouTube, on Instagram. So take a look at those, but let's jump into the episode. I've got my dog just outside of the camera frame. She's not been feeling great, so she's been pretty Velcro lately, so she's going to be around. So there's that. But let's start with finished objects. This is kind of a partial finished object. So this is my color drop socks. I've talked about these a bit. This is a sample that was done for, I can never pronounce her first name correctly. I'll link her down below. But anyways, this was a sample, only one sock was due, so I completed my requirement for the sample. I think it turned out fine. In this process, I realized I don't really care for like lacy things in my socks. I wear my socks in my shoes, in my boots, so I need something a little sturdier, and I would be afraid to wear these and afraid that I would rip something or get something caught and ruin the sock. Is it the worst thing in the world for that to happen? No, not at all. But I know it'd be something I wouldn't reach for on a regular basis. So when I knit my socks, I do try to go for functionality. So I have decided that I'm not going to do the second sock. I did fulfill my requirement for the test knit, but I'm going to take this one apart and I'm going to knit a different set of socks. This kind of goes along with that whole knit and be happy theme that we've been talking about this year, in that this was not a project that I was excited to work on once I actually got started. And if it's not, bringing you joy, then, is it really worth doing? So there was nothing wrong with the design. The design is beautiful. The designer was super communicative. Gave lots of support, gave lots of ideas, gave lots of encouragement. So the problem is me. The problem is not the designer or the designer. That's just not something I really care for in my socks. So all that to say, this pattern will be coming out soon. I will link it. You'll definitely see it on my Instagram page when it does. Definitely check it out. It's beautifully written. It's very clear and easy to follow. It just wasn't really my style. So I'm going to take a break on this yarn in particular for about another week, and then I will pick it back up and you'll see it back here on the channel, and we'll talk about what I'm going to do instead. Whips, works in progress. Let's talk about the Engrain Shawl. Last week, as I held up my shawl, you guys saw, I found that I had dropped a stitch like 10 rows down. I did fix it. I was hoping to do it on camera, but I was saying too many words that were not appropriate for YouTube or polite company, so I decided not to put that up on the episode. But I did fix it. It did not take long. I think the hardest part was remembering if the yarn needed to be in front or in back, because this is garter stitch with something like stockinette where the V's are all on the same side. That's a lot easier for me to fix. So it was just time consuming, but stitches have been picked up. You can't even tell where it is. I probably couldn't tell you where it was if I even wanted to. But we have the first color, which is that beautiful pink on the bottom. And then it blends lovely into that kind of variegated purple. Honestly, I was a little concerned that I had made the wrong choice in the colors that I picked and that they weren't going to blend. But I think that blends well. Like it's not as noticeable than like a blue to pink. I've reached the middle point, so that is like right here, is not as noticeable now, but this is the middle, that's the V. And now I have reached the point where I need to start blending my third color. So I reached that point this morning. I did not have time to wind up my third color before school started, or like it was time to pick up kids to get them ready for school. So I'm going to skein that up probably today, or wind that up rather. It's already in a skein. I'm gonna wind it up probably later today, and then have it ready for tomorrow to get started on color 3. So I'm on the decreases now. So rows are starting to get shorter slowly, so it doesn't feel like it's taking me as much time. I have noticed in shawls, I get to a point where I'm just kind of over it because it's just so big and I'm just ready to be done. That point where I was kind of over it was right when I started decreasing. And so that was kind of the light at the end of the tunnel as far as I am getting smaller, so it will start getting faster. But wonderful knit. This is a pattern by Sarah Opie of S Knits. This came out a couple years ago and now has a couple different iterations, so definitely go check those out. Love it so far. I'm really excited to finish it up and then be able to wear it. All right, next is my first forgotten project of the year. I know I've talked about it a bit as far as I want to work on the forgotten projects, and I haven't worked on the forgotten projects yet. But if you're newer here, you won't know what that is. So any project that I started and then abandoned in 2023, 22, 21, I think my oldest one is 21, maybe 20. Those are called my forgotten projects because I forgot about them at some point or another. I have a couple blankets. I want to say I have like 3 blankets, 1 sock knit and 1 sweater. The sweater just needs like a little bit left of the body and the sleeves. So that one is almost done. The socks, I was doing a cabled sock and it wasn't working and I got really frustrated, so I took it apart. The blankets, I just need to do them. So instead of like continuing to carry them into the next year and the next year, I decided that I'm going to slowly start working on the forgotten projects so I can get them done. There's no timeline. That was also part of why I chose not to do Year of Socks this year, was so that I could tackle the forgotten projects. So this is my first forgotten project. It is not the sweater. I keep saying I'm going to do the sweater first and then I chicken out and I don't. This was a tank top. So the yarn is called Mr. Pocket, and this is by The Farmer's Daughter, and they're based out of Montana. And I had gotten this yarn several years ago as, I think it was for a sample. Like I had store credit because I did a sample for them. So anyways, I bought this yarn and it was originally going to be for this like tea sweater thing. But then I realized that the tea sweater thing wanted like a cotton linen blend and I did not get that. So then I just hold on to it. And then I found this like tank top that was super cute. So I was going to do that, but I got the size wrong. So it was giant on me. And then I realized I live in California, and in my part of California, the summers are very hot and dry heat. It's not humid at all. So do I want to be wearing a wool tank top in the middle of summer? No, I don't. I know wool does not like, it's one of those eco-friendly materials where like it keeps you warm in the winter, but it keeps you cool in the summer. But I was not willing to risk it. It was not something I was gonna reach for to wear on a regular basis. So I decided to scrap that idea completely and to do something completely different. So I am doing the watch cap and mittens by Soho. I think it's Soho Knits, I think. Maybe? No, I don't remember. Like I said, everything's gonna be linked down below, and I do that for a reason because a lot of times I forget. So like I said, this is Mr. Pocket. It's on their Juicy DK. This is 100% wool. And I have my hat started. I don't have a green hat, and I usually have like 2 hats that I rotate through. I have a purple one, and then I have like it was a self-striping, so it's gray and red and blue, and it's great. But those are fingering weight yarns, and then they're Musselburgh, so they're like a DK because it's folded in on itself. However, I'm going to be going to St. Louis later this year, and I'm going to be going in the spring, which could be either like 70, 80 degree weather, or it could be like 40 degree weather, which I don't like cold weather. I'm a California girl. I don't like cold weather. So I needed a thicker hat than what I currently have. So this is going to be wonderful. So I'm probably about halfway into the body. It's a 2x2 rib, so it's very mindless. I can take this with me to Taekwondo, and 2x2 rib. We watched a show last night, 2x2 rib. It was wonderful. I don't have to look at my hands as much than like something that's going to be a little more intricate. So I have 3 skeins of this yarn. I probably have enough, honestly, for like 2 hats and 2 sets of mittens. But I'm going to start with 1 hat, 1 set of mittens. I haven't decided if I'm going to do fingerless or like actual mittens that cover all your fingers. I definitely would use the fingerless more here in California. However, if it is snowing in St. Louis, I'm probably going to want the ones that cover your hands. Unless, here's another thought, I do the kind that are fingerless, but they're really long, and then you fold them down. I might do that. We'll see. But anyways, this has been great. It has been good to tackle the first forgotten project and just get stuff done. And I know I'm going to use this. I know I'm going to wear this, even here in California. This is a hat that I would wear on a regular basis. As you can tell, I wear a lot of green, so this will be perfect for me. So that is that. And then my last work in progress is the forever featured Northeasterly Blanket. So I am still on strip 2, but it is growing. So I got to about here last week. I have some tail. I don't think I have enough to go across like another row. So I've just been kind of leaving the tails kind of long, and then I just clip them. So I'm about halfway through the strip, so I should get the second strip all the way done this weekend. But it's been great. We're trekking along. So I'm still doing the full 10 grams from my row 1 subscription, and then putting in little bits from other projects that I either had left over or I decided to not do that project anymore. So I'm kind of excited to see how this is gonna kind of evolve as I continue on. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do like these big chunks, these big 10 gram chunks again, or if I'm gonna do like 10 grams and 5 grams, or then do a row of just 5 grams. I haven't gotten that far into what I want to do, but we're moving quite along. So there is that. All right, next. This is the last time I'm going to mention Destash for good. The auction is now over. I was able to sell all but 2 of the items that I submitted. 2 of my items did not get any bids, which is fine. They're not for everybody. But since I did have 2 items that were not sold, I wanted to offer them to all of you. So I have 1 skein of Hades by Paisley Knits on Coastal Sock, and 1 skein of Hephaestus, also by Paisley Knits, on Coastal Sock. So these are 2 of the colors from her Yarn Club for the Gods that I had an extra skein of. So if you are interested in purchasing those, please send me a message on Instagram. Link to that is in the description below. And if they do sell, then I would still give a portion of that sale to Gary of Gary Knits, Gary Writes, like his fundraiser for Life Cycle. So if you're interested, let me know. All right, acquisitions. I have no acquisitions. Yay. I'm definitely being more aware as far as like things that are on sale and trying to take a little more time in deciding, do I really want that or do I really need that? And what's the difference between the two? And I'm trying to do that just in all aspects of life, not just with my yarn buying. So no acquisitions this week. Next is reading and watching. What am I reading and what am I watching? So I finished United We Spy by Ali Carter. That was the last book in her Gallagher Girls series. Great, ended beautifully. Everyone got a happy ending for the most part at the end. So that's kind of what I needed. Next, I started The Scarlett Pimpernel by Duchess Orczy. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm in a classics book club, and it's something that my husband and I do together, which has been really fun because some of these books I never read. Some of them are a little out of my wheelhouse, but I still try to read them. And then we do kind of themed dinners. So the last book we did was Dune. I did not read Dune. I just didn't. But I watched the first movie of like the more recent ones, and I thought about reading it. So I still was able to go to dinner. So it was nice to just kind of hang out and be with friends and do something with my husband. So this month's book is The Scarlett Pimpernel. I have never read it. I did watch a movie on The Scarlett Pimpernel that was done, I don't even know when it was made, but it was in my 11th grade physics class, and I hated that class and I did not like the teacher, and it was just awful. But he would always show two movies during the semester. You watched The Scarlett Pimpernel and Brigadoon, and those were his favorite movies, so we had to watch them. So I remember watching it and not being excited about it and hating every moment about it. So I remember some, but I don't remember a whole ton about the story. So I've been listening to it on Audible, and it's been great so far. So I will let you guys know how it ends. All right, and last but not least is our giveaway. Last week I talked about getting so close to hitting 500 subscribers, which does not seem like a lot, but to me that's like a lot of people who have subscribed to this channel. So I wanted to celebrate with all of you hitting 500 subscribers. I ended up hitting it like the following day. So I've been very excited for this. So I pulled out of my personal stash this sock set by Woolberry, and it's called Meet Me by the Coast. And this was one of their collective colorways. So only members who are in the Woolberry collective could get this sock set. I am a member of the collective, so clearly I have this sock set. So I believe this was from summer. I don't think the date is on here at all. But it is this beautiful, like, I don't even know. It reminds me of a seashell, if I'm being honest. Let me get my face out of the way. But it's got these really soft creams, peaches, grays. I don't see a ton of speckling. It's like a gray blue, a little bit of speckling. And then it's got this beautiful sage green mini skein. So how do you win this? Quite easy, actually. Leave me a comment in the comment section below on what you're reading right now. I love sharing what I've been reading lately, so I would love to hear what you are reading. And all those comments will be put into a raffle, and next week we will give away this skein in celebration of hitting 500 subscribers. And that's all I've got. It's a short episode. I feel like our episodes have been getting progressively shorter. However, it's like that handoff. I know I talk about this every week. Between doing an episode every other week and having them be longer, and then having an episode every week and having them be slightly shorter. Personally, I like having the every week and slightly shorter, just because I can fit it into my day a little easier than having super long episodes once a month or every other week. So let me know what you guys prefer, so I can definitely tailor this around what you guys like. But that is it for today. I hope you're having a wonderful day, whatever day it is that you're watching this. I will see you guys next week for our giveaway winner, and then also just more knitting and fun. So thanks for spending a bit of time with me, and I will see you guys next time.